Hi there, welcome to Coffee with Samantha Jane. Today I'm having a catch up with Sarah Jane because I saw her recently in a magazine. How did we get to that?
So I was asked to do a magazine photo shoot naked because I've had quite a long journey myself with weight loss. So I've lost over 12 stone. So
12 stone.
12
Let me stop you there. Right, let's reel that back.
Yeah.
So go back to when you, what would we say, had the 12 stone. Where were you in your life?
So at the age of 26,
Okay.
I'd been with my childhood sweetheart from the age of 14, and we were trying for a baby, and I went to the doctors because I wasn't having any periods, and basically I got on the scales and I hadn't weighed myself for years. So once I stood on there, I was absolutely gobsmacked at the weight and was quite horrified. But the way I was treated by the GP was very cold. She made me feel very stupid, very alone.
Okay.
And I left there just in floods of tears. But it was a life-changing moment. She told me that I was killing myself with my weight.
Okay.
But I knew I had to change. I'd gone on many diets before. So for me, it was looking at my relationship with food.
Okay. So you've done all that dieting, yo-yo, and lose the weight, put more on, I'm assuming, that we sort of see people do.
And the weight loss plans, you know, the ones where you pay your weekly sum and go and stand on the scales and, you know, and they tell you what to eat and what not to eat.
Yeah.
But for me, my relationship with food was much more than just the food. It was the emotional side. I was a very emotional eater.
Okay. So what would trigger that then? What kind of...
I think fear, not feeling good enough. The relationship that I was in lasted from the age of 14 to 28, and it was a very abusive relationship, physically and mentally. And
so you'd lay it up to protect yourself, as we say. Okay.
And used that food as a friend, really, because a lot of it would be in comfort.
And so what was your go-to?
Sweet food, sugary food, because when I was a little girl, my gran was always baking cakes, biscuits, and made me feel loved.
Okay, so learnt from young.
Yeah, that was a thing to do. So, it stemmed from that, really, and, you know, allowing people to not treat me very nicely, because I felt I didn't deserve anything else than that.
Yeah.
So it all compounded and was all a very negative cycle that needed to be broken. And I sort of began that journey sort of at the age of 26.
About 26.
Yeah.
So that partly because you wanted to have children?
Yes, yeah. And I think as well, I was looking at it from a very different point of view. When I'd always tried to lose weight before, it was maybe trying to look a certain way or be a certain weight.
Yeah.
Or be a certain clothes size. Oh, I want to be a size 10. Well, when you're a size 28, that's like climbing a mountain. It's ridiculous. Whereas this time, I was going at an angle from, I want to be healthy.
Okay. I
had a totally different mindset, and this was all about my health and well-being.
And had you already had children before you hit this weight level?
No.
You had children since losing weight?
Yes, I've got 2 children. So, and I think they also... My first child, my eldest, is a girl, and I think having her then made me look at the way I was being treated in that relationship.
Right,
so
okay.
Having very low self-esteem, I thought I didn't deserve any better than what I was getting treated, but having a daughter that I was responsible for, all of a sudden I could change for her, because she deserved better. And what sort of role model was I if I showed her that this was okay? To treat a woman.
Yeah.
So she was really my catalyst, and then I had Jack very quickly afterwards. He wasn't planned, but he was a lovely surprise. But so I had a 6-month-old and a 20-month-old, and then I ended that marriage.
Okay.
Then and I was 28 then.
28 at that point.
Yeah.
So your weight loss journey began at 26?
Yes.
Okay. How did you because how much weight did you go on to lose?
So altogether now it's 12 stone.
Okay.
So
how did you do that?
Well, basically, I just started with really basic steps. And again, it wasn't looking at the big picture, it was breaking it down. Obviously, I didn't set out and think, right, I'm going to lose 12 stone, because that would have just probably overwhelmed me and sent me reaching for the biscuit tin. So for me, I was breaking it down. I started off, I was very embarrassed about my size, and I think the way that the GP treated me that day, I just felt utterly humiliated. She made me feel worthless and stupid. And
so you never wanted to feel like that again, kind of thing?
Never. So I started simply by walking for half an hour, but I would wait until it was dark. So I'd go out at night, about 9, half 9 on my own. And I basically started with walking every day.
Is that because you didn't want to be seen?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
So you're afraid of ridicule and stuff with the weight? Okay.
Yeah. So that's how I started. Really tiny baby steps, drinking more water and doing healthy swaps. So instead of chips, having jacket potato. And obviously when you're that size, those small steps, the weight starts coming off.
Yeah.
So within the period of going on the scales and being 21 stone and then ending that marriage, I was then 15 stone. So I'd managed to lose 6 stone before I'd even started at a gym.
Yeah.
And before the exercise really came in, which is a massive part of my life now. But then it was literally just walking. And then when I had the children, obviously you walk miles with them in the buggies. And, you know, I'm a great advocate in getting the kids out in the fresh air. So, yeah, the journey began with very basic steps. And I'm still a believer now that those basic steps is what keeps you consistent, and not doing anything bad, not doing a quick fix, because all of those only last very short term.
So do you think losing that initial weight gave you the strength to end the marriage then?
I believe having my daughter gave me the strength.
Your daughter?
Yeah, because I'd been so ground down, and later on, obviously working with you, I found out something that was said to me at the age of 14 would hold me back for many, many years, right up until the age I was 49. But something that I was told when I was 14, I believed to be a fact.
Right,
and it's really held me back probably in my life. It made me very fearful, made me never feel good enough, never feel as good as everyone else.
Okay.
So I believed that I just deserved to be treated like that, and it was only when I had my daughter that I was responsible for another female, and I was thinking, if I stay, she's going to think that this is okay to treat a woman like this, and it really isn't.
No.
It really isn't, and I knew deep down I knew that, but I thought it was all I was worth. So
you're kind of feeling control.
Oh, yeah.
Even uncomfortable, even though it's uncomfortable.
Yeah,
It's one of those.
Yeah, definitely. So yeah, I suppose it gave me the confidence as well. It gave me a little bit more confidence. I wasn't very confident then, but yeah, I just knew it had to be done.
Slowly crept in.
Yeah. And I've always got that gut feeling. I've lived my life by that gut feeling, and I knew.
Your intuition.
Yeah, massively. And
So do you see yourself as a spiritual person?
I would say I'm very empathic.
Okay.
I pick up on feelings in a room or different moods about people. So I would say I'm very in tune. And have a strong gut instinct about things, and major decisions in my life I've always gone with
the gut.
Always, because it's never been wrong.
No,
it's never been wrong.
No, that is the trick, isn't it?
I have found
to trust that.
And it's the times when I've not done that gut instinct when things have gone awry in life. You know, completely. Yeah. Because I haven't listened to it. So. Yeah.
So when you look back then from a spiritual perspective, do you see, when you're sat in that doctor's room that day, do you see that as what we call an awakening moment, where like the light gets switched back on and you click?
Yeah.
That was the first key step.
Massively.
Whereas you would have been what I would call it, you've been asleep.
Yes.
Until then, that's your first, hence awakening.
Yeah, definitely. That was the point at which I knew things had to change. I could not continue the life that I had been leading, because it was an existence, it wasn't a life, and it was leading me down a path. Basically, I was killing myself. So, that definitely was the point of change, and really a profound moment, and I can feel those feelings that happened on that day like it was yesterday. You know, it was massive.
It's funny, isn't it? We have these key moments. I can remember one key moment, which probably doesn't sound a lot, but it was massive. I remember crying all the way home. And that was, I viewed a rental house here in Swindon.
Yeah.
And I stood in the kitchen and my children in the room next to the house. And I was talking about money and things like that. And because I'm a single mum and I'm self-employed, and he turned around and he said to me, if you have a default on the rent in this house, I will have you and I will come and get you. I had a man say that to me, and he made me feel financially.
Yes.
It's quite a while ago. They're still in business, but he made me feel like this. And I remember coming out thinking, you wouldn't have said that to a man.
No.
Would never speak like that to a man.
Yeah, you're quite
That's
right.
what it is. But do you know, that was a shift to get my shit together in my financial picture.
Yeah.
So I get that.
Yeah.
It's like, on the outside it looks like it's just 5 minutes and she was a bitch and he was an a-hole and, you know, but it's not.
It's not.
No.
It's so
the
much
layer
more.
shifts.
Yes.
Yeah.
And changes the direction of your life. That's what I think that day changed the direction of my life.
And how old were you?
I was then 26.
Yeah, because 26, 28, numerology-wise, something massive happens in everyone's lives.
Yeah.
It's like we've been playing till then.
Yeah.
And then something will happen around those times to bump you onto your actual soul path. And I discovered I was 5 months pregnant. I thought it was stress. So move away from the wine. She knows. But, you know, we do. We have, and a lot of people, and that's why we have the 28 Club, where they decide, no, actually, I don't want that life, it's too much. And they, you know, all this, the famous, call it the 28 Club or something like that, don't they?
But it was 28 when I decided to end our marriage.
So massive key moments in time. I love it. I just love how it all works and flows together. So what have you been doing since then?
So at that point then, I was a single mum and I brought the kids up on my own and I went on a different career path and had a good job, did well financially and joined a gym, which again, that got me this love of exercise that I've got now.
Okay.
And so the weight was coming down gradually, you know, I never lost weight quickly, which I think was really why I've sustained it.
Yeah.
Because I think a lot of people can lose weight, but it all goes back on again because they don't change
the behaviour.
Their behaviour and they don't look at the reasons why they're doing what they're doing. So I did a lot of self-help, a lot of reading. I did Reiki 1 course. Just educating myself with self-help books alongside of exercising. And so that bimbled along and I then, after 5 years of being on my own, I started a new relationship and that was quite a happy relationship and a lovely man and that lasted for 16 years. But during that time I never felt good enough to be loved. I never felt that I deserved to be loved. Because unbeknown to me, that statement that had been told to me when I was 14 was still so profound and so in my life and just affecting me on a daily basis and I hadn't even realised that.
Do you want to share that statement?
Yeah, I was told, so we walk into a restaurant with my ex's parents and we were stood behind them at the bar and as we walked into this restaurant he turned to me and said, you see all these people in this room? He said, they're all looking at me. And I said, oh. And look, why? Why's that? And it was because they all feel really sorry for me. He said, because I'm with a fat, ugly bitch like you and they all feel sorry for me.
Wow.
And I just went, oh, okay. And I believe that to be a fact. And that stayed with me until I was 49.
So from 14 to 49, yeah. This is the thing when we're children, we don't question stuff. Because you're still a child at 14, and at 14 you didn't think you were, but,
yeah, but
I mean, I think you're still a child at 28.
Yeah. Do we ever grow up?
Not always.
Yeah. So yeah,
Yeah.
massive. And
Yeah.
so I think my self-esteem had always been low, even though I was very good at hiding it.
Yeah.
You know, since I've been more open and honest about that, people have been really surprised, because I think you overcompensate for it in other ways.
Yeah.
And so I think people were really genuinely shocked when they found out that that's how I'd felt all those years.
Yeah.
So yeah, then I had so when I became single again at the age of sort of 48, that's when I thought, I've got to change my patterns of behaviour, or all I'm going to do is keep repeating the same things.
Yeah.
So I started running when I was 40, and I really used my running as like a meditation and time to think and work problems out. So
Yeah.
my running's been really crucial in my healing and my exercise and just self-help. And then I came and did some coaching with you, Sam, which I have to say has been massive, and I will always be eternally grateful, because I didn't realise
That was the statement was there.
no, and I didn't realise that I was actually holding myself back.
Yeah.
You know, I would think, well, why can't I do this? Why can't I do this? I didn't realise. So it was only by you opening that up to me that I could change it and move forward, which I have. And so, although I'd physically changed my appearance and I was really happy with my exercise and food, I still felt something inside was missing.
Okay.
And I couldn't put my finger on what it was. And I was very, very drawn to everything that you were saying. I thought, this woman is talking to me. And I think I used to comment every time you did something. Were you just talking to me there? I felt like everything you were saying was aimed at me. Yeah. So I was really drawn to see you. And then when the lockdown restrictions lifted, that's when I booked to come and see you.
Right. Okay.
And that's when I realised that actually I didn't know who I was, and that the person that I was squashed at 14.
Yeah.
And I'd been stifled. And so then, since we've been working together, it's all been about finding me, finding my self-confidence, finding my voice, and probably becoming the person that I should have become
All along. Yeah.
And
Always.
so that's what meeting you has done for my life. It's changed it. It's kind of brought Sarah back.
Yay. And we like Sarah.
Yeah, we do. Yeah.
So with your running, what are you running now?
At 21 stone, I struggled to walk, let alone run.
Yeah.
And since then, I've completed probably over 40 half marathons and 4 full marathons.
Yeah.
So I'm really proud of my running and my achievements with that. And I'm part of a running club, so it's a regular part of my life, and it's the lifestyle that I lead now.
Yeah.
It's not something that I'm ever going to stop.
No.
And you know, at work, I work for the NHS now, and I'm known as the woman down the corridor that runs. Oh, you're the woman down the corridor that runs. Yeah, that'd be me.
Don't you love it?
So yeah, it's a massive part of who I am.
You're known as you.
Yeah,
You're not known as his wife or their mother or, you know.
Yeah, it's a massive part of my life.
Yeah.
Which I really love, and just the whole health and well-being thing. And I think I've learnt that your mind is such a powerful tool.
Absolutely.
And actually
Controls the whole game of life.
And the food was just something, I could have been addicted to anything, but it was just that my addiction was food. So my addiction was visible with my weight for everyone to see, because I'm quite sure there are many people we work with that are addicts, but it's a substance or something that they can hide from us. So
true.
It's been, since I've started working on the inner stuff, the outer stuff has just
shifted.
Yeah, massively. Absolutely.
Yay. So what are you up to now then?
So now I run a support group through Facebook.
Okay.
I started that about 11 months ago, and I've got over 900 members now, which is really good. And I've done some magazine articles as well. I did a naked photo shoot.
Woo!
and some articles on my weight loss journey, and that's sort of promoted quite a lot of attention.
So you're inspiring.
As well. So yeah, inspiring and helping and supporting others.
Yeah.
And that's definitely the field of work that I'm looking to move forward with now. Yeah.
Well, you've walked the walk, haven't you?
Yeah.
So unlike some we see,
Yeah,
let's just say that.
Yeah.
But no, it's good.
Yeah.
It's good. So you're helping all these people.
Yeah, and I get so
Get them running. Is that what you mean? And
well,
or
just
supporting them in their own fitness.
Yeah,
and,
their own fitness and looking at their relationship with food.
Yeah.
I treated relationship like it was my relationship with food was like my friend.
Yeah.
I turned to food to make me feel better, whereas now I would ring up a friend and have a chat and feel better.
Yeah.
Back then, I would reach for the sugar to kind of numb the pain of my life, really.
Yeah, because it's pushing down emotions when you eat. Yeah, but it's all got to come back up eventually.
Yeah. So, I love helping other people, and I have worked with alongside people, and they've lost weight working with me, and we don't even talk about food.
Yeah.
So that, I think, is very different, because if you go to some
it?
of the slimming clubs, that's all they talk about, is tell you what to eat and what not to eat.
Yeah.
But we don't talk about food.
Yeah.
We talk
Because
about lots of other things.
people who are dieting, just a sweeping general statement, do fixate on food.
Yeah.
On the calories, how much they're eating on it. And you think, well, it's still controlling you.
Yes, but in a different form. And the
It's
minute
just
you
changed the
stop
format.
that eating plan, you're going to go back to all those habits and use that food for all the reasons you did before, because you've not addressed any of that. You've not changed any of those behaviours.
No. And it's addiction.
Massively.
And addiction is emotion-based and experience-based. So what I've seen over the years is that if you don't deal with the why and the emotion state behind the addiction, you just move on to something else to be addicted to, whether it's drugs, sex, cigarettes, food, different type of food.
Gambling.
It's the same energy, it doesn't matter what it is.
It's just,
you just change if you don't deal with it, you change when you do it.
I think as well, because I lead a very different life now, and leading a healthy lifestyle brings me so much joy, so much confidence, and has really changed my life. I'm so passionate about that. And I think that's what people get from me, even if we have a conversation at work. The team that I went to work with, all the nurses and doctors, when I have my appraisals, they always go, oh, this girl was amazing. She's changed our mindset in our team. She's made us a much healthier team. You know, I'm talking about what I do as a job. And that makes me laugh. But that's what I want to help. That's why I want to help other people now, because I know you can lead a very different life. I was a prisoner of my weight.
Yeah.
I was
It's
a prisoner back
expression.
in that life.
Yeah.
And now I live a life that I absolutely love every single day. I'm grateful for this life every day. And I just want to help as many and inspire as many people to make the changes that I have, really.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, it's great. It's great to see you doing so well.
Thank you, Sam.
Thank you for coming on.
That's right, and thank you for everything.
My pleasure.
Thank you.
Well, I hope you have enjoyed the show. We'll share links below if you want to get in touch with Sarah Jane. And don't forget as well to hit subscribe, like, and ring that bell so you know every time a show goes out.